It's 7:40. Let's do this. Good evening, Hampton Roads. Good evening, Northeast North Carolina. My name is David Aldrich, Chief Meteorologist of WTKR News 3 Television, and you are watching First Warning Live, where we focus on all things weather. And because we get hungry from time to time, we're sponsored by Marco's Pizza. So that's how that works. I'll get back to Marco's in a bit, but when you track any winter storm, which seems to be on the top of a lot of people's minds over the last 36, 48 hours, it's all about the 3 T's. Now, some of you are like, what is this guy talking about? Let's go back to basics, right? It's about the 3 T's. Temperature, you need to know what that is. And boy, do you need to know that at multiple levels. You need to know the track, which can also change from hour to hour. And then you also have to have the timing. When's it going to change? When's it going to start? When's it going to end? There's a lot in there. But I can tell you that timing is usually what comes into focus first. And right now, I think that focal point is PM Saturday and into Sunday. Meaning it's an evolving, a rolling start. If you're a NASCAR fan, it's a rolling start on Saturday, really after dark, and carries into Sunday itself. So it could get messy. What you're saying is it could get messy. Yes. Now, will it get messy tonight? No. Is it going to get messy on Thursday? No. Is it going to get messy on Friday? No. But late on Saturday, I got a 40%. I think most of your Saturday's fine. It's awfully cold in the 20s, but really it's Sunday when things start to go off the wagons. Now, here's a basic fundamental thing. If you're interested in, like, you want to go into the weeds, but without getting into the math and the calculus and all that, that's fine. Let's just figure out if the models had some agreement, which they don't, but if the models had some agreement on how much water fell from the sky, that would be a starting point. But we don't have that. 0.7 south side, this is the GFS model. Let's look at the European, 1.9. Do the math. That's about 171% more than the GFS model. So let me go back, 0.7, right? If that were on a 10-to-1 ratio, which so many love to glop onto, then that's 7 inches of snow. Ooh, but if we got 1.9, that would be 19 inches of snow. Ooh, now you really got my attention. I'm here to blow that bubble out. I'm here to pop it, because there are 4 different types of precipitation. We're not getting 7 inches of snow per se, or we're not getting 19 inches of snow. Now you have to divvy that up, right? So is it 0.7 or is it 1.9? Still only 5 days out. Come on, give me some certainty. You're not going to find it here. You'll get some good intel, which I'll give you, but if you were to pick one type of precipitation, everybody's holding on to this one. This is the snow, right? Everybody thinks it's all going to be snow, so therefore everybody's going to be dancing, clicking their heels on the team snow team. Not the case. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I got some other comments that came in yesterday. Susan said, hey, the animals are confused. I imagine they are. Susan says in the follow-up comment from last night, snow coming, man, get ready. That's what she's been told, because she bought into everything that she heard online. Well, I'm glad she didn't hear this, but she hadn't listened to me. No. I said, this chapter hasn't been written yet. Okay? Haven't been written yet. Now, how many of you have seen something like this? Okay? This is 12 noon Saturday. I said it would be a PM Saturday start. There's nothing going on here. Right? It hasn't started. So if you have outdoor activities on Saturday morning, you're fine. But David, I have to get a haircut Saturday. Fine, get your haircut, fine. You got to get to the pharmacy, you're fine. No problems. But I would encourage you to have all what you need before midday Saturday. Because then this is all going to come in from Tennessee, presumably, if this were to verify. This is 4 o'clock. There's 4 hours, it still hasn't done nothing, and nothing's happened yet here. But it's snowing pretty good in North Carolina and parts of Tennessee, western North Carolina anyway. But not much here by 4 o'clock. But that changes once it gets dark, right? Now all of a sudden, you've got snow in this color. Some would say it's purple-blue. Put snow here, just so everybody knows the legend. This is the mix, right? What does the mix consist of? That's freezing rain and sleet. Let me repeat. The mix, freezing rain and sleet. And most of us know by now that the rain is colored in green, right? Now, you tell me how quickly this changes from 6 o'clock in the morning to the time I fast forward this to 10:30 Sunday morning. Now the rain is more intense along the outer banks. Snow is lifting, but so is the mix. Looky at the mix here. I got to clear this off. There's a lot more mix now in the places like the Eastern Shore. In fact, it looks like it's raining in parts of the Eastern Shore, and we're now getting what is now the mix, which would be the freezing rain and sleet. That is a bigger nightmare than saying, oh, we're just going to get 7 inches of snow, we're going to get 19 inches of snow. We're not getting any of that if this washes it down the sewer drain. And I suspect that's the case, because by about 7 o'clock Monday morning, it's all over. And maybe, just maybe, it's a headache that somebody, oh boys, what a weekend that was. That was a crazy weekend. Now, how many of you have seen this? I mean, this is what's going to probably burst the bubble, because so many people in the weather community, model worshipers, I don't recommend that. Don't recommend that at all. Don't worship the models. These are the people that look at every 6 to 12 hours. It's a fix. It's like a adrenaline or dopamine hit. But the ice accumulation from the blessed Euro shows it's a lot of ice. It's a lot of ice that's going to kill your snow totals. That will kill your snow totals. That's a bigger problem than the snow totals that have been inflated all online. As we heard from Susan, she said, oh, get ready for snow. Well, I'm telling you, it's not only significant snow, it's significant ice, right? That's the bigger problem. And the devil's in the details. So if you're going to get all excited about a snow event, I'm telling you, you can't do it 6 days in advance. And that's what people did on Martin Luther King Day. Now they're doing it today. It's 5 days away, 4.5 to 5 to Saturday evening. But people will do it again tomorrow. And guess what? The models are going to change again. And they're going to change again. How do I know? Because when you take 2 dice and you roll snake eyes, you will not roll snake eyes 6 days in a row. You are assuming the perfect snowstorm 6 days out would have been consistent. And the models keep changing, and they keep auto-correcting, they keep buffering, and they keep adjusting. That's my point. The takeaway is, be prepared for a very sloppy, heavy precipitation maker this weekend. It will disrupt travel plans, because if we get this, on top of what snow falls first, and then it goes back to all rain, it's a mess, right? It's one of those, I wish it had been all snow. May not be that, okay? We're just on Tuesday. Last I checked, we still have gifts called Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You get my picture? This is not something to get too excited about on Tuesday, except to say, be flexible with your outdoor plans. And you know what? You can also be flexible. The Pozzolis from Marco's. Do you know they got a great $5 Pozzoli this week? It's the deal of the week. If you use the promo code WTKR David, it will give you a $5 Pozzoli. It is a fantastic, it's like a calzone or a stromboli. You have 4 different types, the pepperoni and sausage, which is my personal favorite, the chicken bacon ranch or buffalo chicken. And I want to thank my sponsor, Marco's, for always being generous with the products that they offer. The Pozzoli is one of the first products. This is the first product I tried at Marco's. It's delicious. And there are actually 6 locations that are participating in the $5 Pozzoli offer. That's 3 in Virginia Beach, 2 in Chesapeake, and 1 in Norfolk. And we're just a couple of days away. 2 days away from giving away free pizza away for a year. That's announced on Thursdays. We do that every Thursday, or at least try to on Thursdays, depending on my schedule. But I can tell you this, the pizza for a year, once you win it, and if you win it, I know there's some that are listening right now that have won it, I hope that you'll be able to share it with your family and your neighborhood, because you get one in January, you get one through December, you get all through calendar year of 2026. That's a large 1-topping pizza for free every month. Pretty sweet. And if you haven't had Marco's yet, you might actually win a pizza. We'll be giving away 10 individual pies on Thursday as well. But the Pozzoli on the left, great lunch item. The Magnifico, Pepperoni Magnifico is another staple, one of the products that they carry. But if you want to sign up, it takes just a minute of time. Go to our webpage, WTKR.com/Marcos. All right, got to get back to the comments. I want to get back to the ice accumulation. I'm kind of curious. Now I can import your comments. I had quite a few that came in from last night. I believe, who is this? Jones? Last name, I guess, Jones say keep the snow away. Some people didn't like it. They don't like the idea. I think you're going to say keep the ice away, because I don't think we're too excited about that. And Cindy also saying very, very clearly, the word is no. No, no, don't want that to happen. And it may very well be what we're dealing with this weekend. So everybody, at least in our newsroom, will be on alert. And I'm sure a lot of the power companies, Dominion Energy, everybody's going to be on alert this weekend as things could unfold into an icy mess. I got some notes here. Let's see. Let's see, I got a Marilyn Bell, very nice comment. She just wrote here, it looks like this was posted just 9 minutes ago. She says, folks, you are blessed to have David there with you, guiding the ship. His forecasts are always accurate and trustworthy. Now, Marilyn Bell has been following me for years from Tennessee, but she's very kind and very, very considerate with her complimentary words. I want to get to the maps because we talked about the ice accumulation. This morning was no picnic, right? I believe 31 may be our current temperature now. I believe it was 32 this morning. Yeah, 31 is our current reading. So if I were to give you the time on this is now 31 now as of 7 o'clock. But we were technically 32 this morning at 6:51 a.m. But look at the temperature this morning in Ahoskie. I mean, 17? Are you kidding me? 19 Jackson? That teeth-chattering cold was felt all across northeast North Carolina and the 757. Highs today managed to only make it to 37. What's remarkable is that is the coldest day in Norfolk of the calendar year of 2026. So let me repeat, 2026 has had a high of 39 on January 3rd, but today, January 20th, was in fact the coldest day so far. Now I say so far because I have it even colder this Saturday, this weekend, and next week. But just take note that this has been a pretty easy ride, so to speak, the last couple of days. Today was colder than yesterday because yesterday we were at 46. Satellite radar not showing much in the way of cloud cover, but you can see high pressure is parked over the areas from Harrisonburg to Roanoke, and that's going to allow our heat to go right out into space. So grab an extra blanket, grab an extra log on the fire. It's going to be another cold night across our region. And it's significantly colder now than it was this time last night. If I'm not mistaken, it looks like we have -9, so it's actually 9 degrees colder in Hampton, 12 degrees colder in Newport News at the moment, and it's about 5 degrees colder in Elizabeth City and Currituck. So just checking in with you. I did get some new comments from this post, so forgive me here. Let's see here. Winterize. Amy's got a good suggestion. I can't argue with Amy. Amy's right on target. Winterize your home and your vehicles. Good idea. Do you know about the weather stripping? Because if you've got some gaps in your around the crevices of the door frames and the windows, that's another way to save some money. The weather stripping is pretty cheap relative to what you could save for the rest of this winter because we do have some cold air still coming in that forecast. Let's see here. Erica. I got a note from Erica. She's a new face to me. Erica Buckman says, if we have to have something, I'll take snow. Listen, I'll take the orders, but it's not a weather vending machine, right? I'd love to say I want this and I want some Lay's potato chips and I want a Diet Coke. It's not like that. I want all the bad weather on the weekend. No, we don't. Put it on a Monday, right? When we don't necessarily want to go to work. But this is likely to unfold Saturday evening and into Sunday. So I'm going to keep moving, but you can see how much colder it is now. Our current readings here at 7:52 p.m. are in the 20s and 30s. We have 31 in Chappanoke, Elizabeth City, 30 in Hampton, 31 Norfolk, and 29 in Portsmouth, already down to 25 in Windsor, Bertie County, 25 in Franklin, 26 in Cape Charles. The wind chill, with the winds are moving much, and right now we have calm winds, so 31 feels like 31. It's not going to be that windy tonight. Tonight's lows, though, look at this, 16. Are you kidding me? That's Franklin, Ahoskie, could be down to 14 for Conway. That's cold, but it might be a little bit easier to take if you're near the ocean. Duck only dropping to about 33 tonight, and I'm expecting lows about 23 in Norfolk, but 19 in Chesapeake. Our friends in Gatesville and Moyock, about 18 first thing tomorrow morning. So that's where I expect to be by morning. Here's the rest of your Wednesday planner, because let's face it, first things first. I've been told that all we want to talk about is the snowstorm this weekend. But if you do that, then you miss out on 4 gifts. It's called Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. What are you going to do in those days, right? If you got something like, if something happened, you're already focused on that. It's kind of like, football. I wish Mark Davis were here. How many times do coaches have a really tough game on week 2, but they get a really easy game week 1? You know where I'm going with this. They're focused on that tough opponent week 2, and so they get beat by the easy team. The easy team, because it's right in front of them. Don't let that happen to you. Don't let the beauty of tomorrow escape you. 42 is a little warmer by noontime, and 47 on at 4 o'clock. We did again hit 37 for a high temperature today. So just to recap, if you're just joining us, very cold tonight. Lows in the 20s by morning. The warming trend is climbing into the 50s. It's a one-day special. It's on Thursday, and I want to emphasize the significant snow possible. Senior meteorologist Miles Henderson mentioned this, and I thought it's a good thing to repeat, but it's also, I might add, significant icing possible. What are you going to do then if you're just on team snow? You're going to have to see this in the dynamic three-dimensional field that this is playing on. It's not going to be just snow. It's just not, and it will mute the temperatures, and well, the temperatures will have a big role in what we ultimately see, whether the temperature here at the surface at 1,000, 2,000, and 5,000 feet up could play a huge role in what you in your neighborhood ends up seeing. Now, the normal low is 33. We're actually going to be above normal for 2 mornings. That would be Thursday and Friday. But tonight will be around 23, and then it just gets really cold once we get into the holiday. Once we get into the weekend, it'll feel like a holiday for a winter holiday because we've got the winter storm potential increasing this Saturday evening into Sunday. Now, as far as the temperature trend, the big warm-up is Thursday at 56. Saturday, 28. You go, doo-doo-doo. It's way down there. 36 for a high on Sunday. Now, here's a great question. I like to throw it out there just to see who's watching. And you can participate. It doesn't take much other than to leave a comment. But the weather trivia question comes to us today by meteorologist Miles Henderson. What's the Norfolk's record for the most snow in one season? If you watch the noon show, you have cheated. You have the advantage. If you watch the noon show, you might know the answer. But is it A, 11.9? Is it B, 21.9, or 41.9? C. Here's your chance. Let me know what you think. I'll give you like 20, 30 seconds to leave a comment. I got a note from Kim Thompson-Jones. She says, let's see here. Taj is guessing C. Is that right, Taj? You're all for C. He believes, that seems like a lot of snow, though. If you've been here a long time, I don't know when everybody watching when you were born, but I believe Keegan Patrick might be all over this too. Is it 1980? So we got some snowbirds here who know and understand that the answer is exactly right. It was C. So I give credit to Taj and I give it to Keegan because they were right, 41.9. That was in 1979-1980 season. So that was a long time back, I guess, when Jimmy Carter was in the White House back then. So a long time ago, 41.9 seems like an immense amount of snow, but it's happened before, right? If you're looking for big snows, but like I said, do I have that instinct? Somebody was asking me, I think it was Joshua on my Facebook page, says, what's your gut tell you? My gut tells me you never want to stick your neck out and put snow totals day 6 out in the distant future. You stick your neck out, it's going to get chopped off. And I'm telling you that this will be more of a sleet event, remembered for the ice event, and say, yeah, the snow was only around for X number of hours, and then it got all changed over. That's disappointing, but it's also realistic to think that we're going to see a big blend or changeover throughout the Hampton Roads, and of course the Outer Banks will be mainly rain and maybe more of an interior mix through North Carolina and the Hampton Roads. So we'll keep an eye on that all the same. Now, if you look at the Arctic air, when we look at the North Pole, it rotates counterclockwise. I've talked about the sudden stratospheric warming events. They typically can displace the wind and push it back down. I want to show you yesterday's map. Again, this shows that there is certainly an indication from yesterday's January 19th analysis. This is not a forecast. Again, I repeat, this is roughly about 10, 11 miles up. But where you see this little orange and red area here would suggest that when warm air rises, cold air sinks at 11 miles up. And it will push down, in many cases, some colder air. Now, if I show you what it looks like today, this is the 20th, it looks like it's beginning to divide in here. So now we're beginning to see some signs that we could see more cold air really going into the 20th of February, because there's about a 30-day delay, like a time-released vitamin C tablet. There's a 30-day delay before that cold air will surge back down across the Great Lakes. And it will have some impact, most likely, for Hampton Roads, because all that will be headed in this direction. It's going to be hard to not see our temperatures drop in a big way by the time we hit the 20th of February. I was saying back a couple of days ago that we were going to probably have, in most cases, a very cold February too. So prepare for it. Doesn't mean it's snowy. Cold air is inherently dry, but really cold air may actually be reinforced as we head toward Valentine's Day, as well as what we're seeing in the short term. And the short term is no picnic. Upper air pattern continues to show really cold air racing through Maine, back toward Nova Scotia, and that takes you through Friday, the 30th of January. Here's another look at it. You can see how it breaks off in pieces, but little chunks of cold just keep on coming down. It's like a parade. And until that sudden stratospheric warming begins to show a weakening of the signal, we're going to continue on this winter cold pattern for sure. How much snow we get beyond here and beyond this weekend is still debatable. Today's high hit 37 today. That is, again, about 9 degrees warmer. Actually 11 degrees. It was 46 yesterday, 36 today, 37 today, and it was in fact the coldest day of the year so far, just in Norfolk I'm looking at, because I believe the 3rd of January was 39. We had 2 record highs this month. That's what's really amazing. And yes, if you're keeping score, playing the home game version, we've had 10 above and 10 below so far. But like I said, we're going to have opportunities for a little bit of variability in the days ahead. That I can assure you. Just checking in with some comments. I want to say hi to you. It is now 7:59. I'm about to get the 8 o'clock temperatures here in a moment. Let's see here. I got David Marshall. He has a proclamation that he is from West Virginia, stocked up on everything. Bring on the snow. Listen to that. So some people are excited. They're bound to get some snow in Tennessee sooner or later. Maybe this is your time. We're going to look at that maybe a little bit later too. But David Marshall is ready for anything. I suspect he's most excited about the snow. He's on Team Snow. Now, if you haven't downloaded our free News 3 First Warning Weather app, I hope you'll do so. It's great if you pair it with the NOAA Weather Radio. Sometimes our batteries, our phones lose charge, so having a backup with a NOAA Weather Radio just makes sense. Having multiple sources for information come in handy. Now, if you look around the country, I often look to see if there's any weather travel delays. It looks like we're in the clear at this time because they're all zeros and they all show a green airplane, which would suggest less than 15-minute delays. I do see maybe a little bit of precipitation down across the south. It looks like in South Texas. Looks like some rain trying to form not far from maybe south of Austin, not far from Houston. And if I move further north, it looks like they're getting some snow at this hour through parts of Iowa, maybe southern sections of Minnesota, and western sections of Nebraska. But outside of that, most of the country looks pretty dry at this hour. And yes, you can see this is actually going to take us through, I don't know if I updated this per se, but it will suggest to you that there will be opportunities for this snow to form that hasn't even shown up on radar yet to get very, very large. What am I talking about? I'm talking about this right in here. See if I can circle it. I'm on the wrong telestration here. Let me see if I can grab my, there it is. So this huge swath, right, is the snow, but what may grow even more is the mix, and that's the overrunning where you may get some icy pellets, aka sleet and freezing rain to boot, and that will mute and subdue any kind of snow totals and ruin the fun of maybe sledding ultimately on snow. So if you get more of the pink mix in your neighborhood, you'll be kicking yourself saying, man, this was terrible. And right now, the track of this puts it where? Right through Tennessee, right? I see it like right from Chattanooga northward, it looks like it's snow. But at this point, this would take you through a period of time where we might get some snow Saturday night in parts of maybe North Carolina, Elizabeth City, but then it all changes to a mix. And depending on that inflection point, depending on the timing and how long it stays there, will determine how much snow you have when it's over. And you might say, I didn't have much left because it all kind of washed away or basically melted once the warmer air rolled over. By the way, temperatures right now, as of 8 o'clock, it's 8:02. Chesapeake's at 27. Suffolk at 25, Hampton's at 27. We got 33 in Surrey, 32 freezing degrees in the harbor of hospitality of Elizabeth City. Hereford's 28, Kiptopeke 29, and Yorktown at 29 degrees. You can see there's a lot of cold air still back across western PA. Beckley is at 14. Some of those teens will work their way toward Richmond and work their way toward inland Virginia first thing tomorrow morning. And boy, we're still talking about sub-zero dew points. That is amazing. That's really dry air. Chapstick City, when you've got single-digit dew points and 0 dew points like Columbus, it's really, really dry. But that will all change, I think, once we get into a precipitation pattern known as this weekend. Temperatures right now are 8 degrees in Detroit, 13 in Minneapolis. What you're looking at is Eastern time. It is 8:03 Eastern. It's already 17 below in Fort Severn. So some of that cold air in Canada has the potential to move back down toward, say, Maine or upstate New York in modified form as we move forward in time. So the future temperatures kind of illustrate some of that really cold air in white. This would take you through the 24th, 25th. of January, and it really dips all the way to Texas. Some of the blue would be colder than average numbers, colder than average temperatures rolling through the area. Any one of these opportunities could produce some snow opportunities down the road. But right now, there's not a whole lot beyond January. I should say, it seems like it warms up a little bit out west, but this looks like it will carry us at least through the end of the month in terms of the cold air. In fact, the Climate Prediction Center put their 6 to 10 day outlook like so, centering it around Hampton Roads. That takes you through January 30th. If you're looking for warmer air, head out to California, because they're going to be basking in above normal temperatures at the same exact time. If you look at the 8 to 14 wrap from the Climate Prediction Center, their map rather, below normal temperatures continue to center themselves over the 757 at North Carolina, and this takes us through a day after Groundhog Day, which is February 3rd. So below normal temperatures will continue here, and they'll continue to be above normal out to the west. Got some comments? Let me know. I see the Eastern Shore forecast is on the screen. We'll be in the 40s tomorrow for Bloxham, Saxis, and Chincoteague. Onancock about 44, and Exmoor about 44, and Cape Charles with sunshine at 44 degrees. Got some other notes. Taj Brown giving a word of caution. Better safe than sorry. Not sure what he is referring to, but if he's referring to the weather, always better to be safe for, at least safe for this time. Now, this is where Jonathan Span, you might be at a disadvantage. I showed you at the top of this span, at the top of this stream, that this would have the icing component. So 5 days out, it could be anywhere from 0 to you fill in the blank, right? Because we even saw the amount of moisture was either 0.7 or 1.9. That's 7 inches or 19 inches if it's just pure snow. So that's all nonsense, right? It's all fantasy until it's not. And I know with good instincts, this is not just a snow event. It's going to have some mixing. And it will disappoint severely those who've been hyped up to think that you're getting 1.5 feet of snow, because you're not. In many cases, it's going to be a worse situation if you get a lot of ice or freezing rain. It could be you're like, I wish I had that snow, because now I might see some extra sagging on the power lines. That's the worst case scenario if you get a lot of freezing rain. Sleet would be better than freezing rain, but we have yet to determine how much it is because it's only Tuesday, right? You're asking somebody, who's going to win the AFC Championship game? Tell me, what's the score and what's it going to be by quarter? You see what I'm saying? You could take the best sports person. They're not going to tell you who wins the AFC Championship by the number of each quarter 6 days in advance. Maybe they're lucky, right? But even still, you're going to have to take some grain of suspicion if someone tells you they know how much we're getting and we're 5 days away. We're really 4.5 to 5 days away. By the way, the Outer Banks 50 right now in Nags Head, 48 in Manio, 48 in Duck. Kill Devil Hills about 49 degrees for a high temperature tomorrow. I expect temperatures will reach about 50 for Rodanthe, low 50s for both Ocracoke and Hatteras. It's 8:06, just going to wrap things up. The Storm Prediction Center, because when we usually get closer to severe weather season, we're going to see some of these colors light up. But so far tonight, the lower 48 is not exhibiting any severe weather characteristics. Neither is Wednesday, and neither is Thursday. So we're in the clear from severe weather. What we will see tonight, plenty of stars. 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, the winds might be light and variable, but they'll eventually come up out of the south, about 5 to 15. And you may see a mostly sunny finish in your neighborhood with highs around 47 in Norfolk and Virginia Beach. By Wednesday night, tomorrow night, we're clouding up, and lo and behold, who's told you this? There could be a shower. This is 3 o'clock in the morning from Franklin to Newport News to Exmoor. There could be a quick shower. That's at 3 in the morning when most of us are asleep. What happens after that? Poof, it's gone. 6 a.m., the last of the clouds are moving out. I left a 10% chance of a rain shower on Thursday. A lot of it may actually occur in the pre-dawn hours, but by 11 o'clock and the rest of your afternoon Thursday looks great. That's the mild day, around 56. Some of you may nudge the upper 50s on Thursday. You say, man, upper 50s, that's just a couple of days before a winter storm. Sometimes that's the way Mother Nature rolls. So if you're just joining us, by midday on Saturday, that's what this would represent. You can see by midday Saturday, there's not a whole lot going on. I could even probably dismiss or excuse this is probably model noise for the Outer Banks. I think if you get anything in the Outer Banks, it would be rain. But even still, if you focus on Knoxville, this particular model would suggest you do, in fact, get some snow on the front end, probably on Saturday morning, And then you slide it in a little bit later into 4 o'clock, it's still snowing in East Tennessee. Maybe you have a mix north of Atlanta into Georgia and parts of South Carolina. But 4 o'clock here, we're still waiting for this thing to start. And once it does start, notice the changeover in Knoxville. Our friends in Knoxville are going to have a similar experience where you're going to have more of an icy mix, might be more sleet, and it's going to mute the snow totals. So whatever snow totals you get, you might have to run outside real quick and put your ruler to it, because by the time that mix rolls over it, it may just be a crusty mess. It's just icy accumulation that may not only occur here, but also in East Tennessee. Here, that begins to change after the sun's up on Sunday, because you can see it beginning to grow. Now it's all raining green for the Outer Banks at 10:30. So you had, 4.5 hours, and now it's beginning to show signs of changing in the Eastern Shore in a bigger way. And then it's out of here. So my point is, this is going to be constantly different between which day. I mean, it's going to be different at breakfast. It's going to be a difference at lunch. It's going to be a difference at dinner, supper, whatever you have in that time frame. There are going to be different types of precipitation. It's not easy to say, oh, I just want snow. Or the worst, that all I heard online was it was going to be snow. I didn't say that. I didn't say we'd get all snow. I said it was yesterday, the data was anywhere from 0 inches to 18. Well, today, you might argue it's 0 inches to 19. No, I don't think it's all snow. I think we're going to be really left and disappointed for snow lovers because of the fact that so much ice is going to play a role. 23 the low, south side, 26 peninsulas, 20 in North Carolina. Looking for high temperatures, actually low temperatures of 16, Franklin, Ahoskie, 19 Windsor, and looking for lows about 19 in Chesapeake, while we will hold likely in the lower 30s for Nags Head and Corolla. Tomorrow afternoon, 47, I think, is reachable for many of us on the south side. The peninsula is about 44, North Carolina about 48, although Edenton, where I was this past weekend, 51, Windsor 51, and Duck 48, 48 in Hampton, about 44 for Melfa and the Eastern Shore, about 48 for Smithfield, Newport News, about 48 tomorrow afternoon with sunshine. So here's your first warning, WTKR News 3 7-day forecast, 23 to start, 47 to finish. I've got a spot shower that's possible in the pre-dawn hours of Thursday. A few more showers are possible on Friday. I think that's mainly the Outer Banks. That's where I think the models are struggling with where to place that opportunity. But still, showers coming in late on Saturday. That means it's a mainly gray day. And then once this thing's underway, I think people want to be in their, be in your safe space, as it were, Saturday night. Best to get all your stuff, all your ducks in order by midday Saturday. If you need food, if you need, toiletries, you need whatever you need, prescription drug, whatever is on your plate that you absolutely cannot survive without. Gasoline might be something too. Maybe you want cash. I don't know what you need. Go to the ATM. Whatever it is that you need during a period of time where if there was a loss of power, would you be ready? And with temperatures warming up to 36, this will be the day that's likely to pop back up, and a lot of the changeable precipitation will likely be on the move. By Monday and Tuesday, it's a lot colder. I've got us about 18. If we have any kind of crusty sleet or snowpack underground, 18 will be conservative. We might even be colder than that, because I have a hard time reaching 30 right now on Tuesday. If you're on the call, we'd love to say hi to you. Real quick, we'll check some happy shots. James River sunset from Katrina Gay always warms my heart. Love these great photos. Thank you, Katrina, for sharing that photo with us. Also, Newport News sunrise from today. Charles Terrell captured this for us. Very much appreciative of Charles and his talents. And Bradley Fullwood today also captured a sunrise in Hampton, along with multiple birds in flight. Bradley Fullwood, thank you for sharing that with us as well. Just a reminder, not much to see tonight with virtually clear skies, so we're going to be looking for a high temperature tomorrow, around 47 degrees. By the way, if you haven't heard, we've got a $5 Pozzoli this week, deal of the week. If you get hungry like I do, use the promo code WTKR, that's our TV call letters, plus my first name, WTKR David will drop the price to $5. Usually you'll see it anywhere from $9 or $8 or even $7.99 for a Pozzoli. And if that's the case, you just got a little bit of savings for you if you are hungry this week. Sometimes if you want, maybe you're craving a drive-through before this weekend, be sure to go to Marco's. They'll be happy to service you. They've got 3 great locations in Virginia Beach, 2 in Chesapeake, 1 in Norfolk. And to sign up for the free pizza, because we are still doing that, We're going to give away free pizza this Thursday. That will continue on as scheduled, but I'd love for you to sign up. And it only takes about a minute or two. If you've signed up once before, you do not have to continue to re-sign up. It will be put into the system. A Pizza for a Year certificate looks like this. We're going to be giving away one large, one topping pizza every month for a year. So if it's mailed to you, you'll be able to use it like a punch card and to be able to check mark January, February, so forth, and all the way through December of this year. Hard to believe it is 2026. So the Pozzoli's on the left. It's very filling. I would encourage you to grab the dipping sauce. I love the ranch, the garlic sauce, or maybe it's the pizza or marinara sauce. They really work well. If you get the right sauce and the right Pozzoli that you like, you'll really find it, I think, a fantastic lunch item or even dinner item if you're so inclined. But you want to go to marcos.com to order. All right, so that's all that in a nutshell. Very much thankful for all of your time. Just to remind you that if you are going to participate in the Pizza for a Year, go to WTKR.com/Marcos. All right, just to remind you, we'll have an update tomorrow. Guess what? We'll still be 4 days out tomorrow, 3.5 to 4. And as we get closer, we're going to fine tune it because it could very well be one type of precipitation to start. Then it's going to change rapidly in the south side, and then maybe never changes from rain in the Outer Banks, that type of thing. So there's going to be some very dynamic changes which will invariably change the outcome of what you get in your neighborhood. Just a reminder, it doesn't matter if the weather is sunny or serious, make the most of it in your neighborhood because every day is a gift. And we're missing out on tomorrow's gift, the next day, and the next day if we're only focused on this weekend. All right, that's it. I'll see you here next time. Take care.